Good morning, Chris Whelan here from the Centre of Business Excellence, Building Better Businesses. I want to talk to you today about thriving in uncertainty, thriving in uncertain economic times, and give you some strategies for how to do that. And what we've seen over the last while is that there's a lot of uncertainty. I've been talking about it on these videos. If you watch me, you would have heard me say it a few times. A lot of uncertainty out there, a lot of fear potentially as well. And what we're seeing is that to stay ahead of competitors is no longer just a goal. It's an absolute necessity. It's not just a goal at all. Economic downturns threaten your sales, obviously. They threaten to squeeze your cash flow. They threaten to increase your competition. And the way to get around that is, and I'll come to that in a moment, but the issue for me is that if you don't get around it, it can lead to stagnation of your business, your SME business in particular, or even worse, it could lead to your business shutting down, which clearly we want to avoid. Now, getting those things right, overcoming that problem, right? The problem of stagnation, problems of economic downturn, the problem of more competition. There's a number of benefits to getting it right. One, you're going to make sure that you have stability, right? Stability of your sales, stability of your cash flow in the first instance. Often people talk about profitability being the killer, but it's not. The real killer is unstable cash flow. So first point that you get when you get this right and you overcome that problem is you get stability in your cash flow. The second point is that, excuse me, potentially you can increase market share, right? If you do it well, you can increase market share. Other people are shrinking back and you're trying to take a long-term view, so you capture a share of the market. And that point of the long-term view really is the third point, that you can build long-term customer loyalty. When people know that you value them, when your customers know you value them, they're going to stick with you. So three really important points right there. The flip side, though, unfortunately, the flip side is that the downside of that is the downside of stability is instability. So cash flow that goes up and down, profitability that goes up and down. You're not quite sure where your next dollar is coming from. That's clearly a problem. The second point is that you could end up losing market share or losing market position, and you don't want that. You want people to know about you. You want people to stick with you. And then, of course, the third point is that you could get customer attrition. Now, let me tell you a very short story. I've made up the name of the company, but the company, trust me, is genuine. I've called the company City Brews. It's a little coffee shop. And when the economic downturn hit, when the COVID pandemic hit in particular, they lost market share. They lost people, obviously couldn't go out. And we helped them pivot from from in-store to online. And because the loss of foot traffic obviously hammered their business. So pivoting from in-store to online made a big difference. They also highlighted the community benefit, right? The community benefit of their value proposition. And so people bought from them despite the fact that they couldn't get out. They bought from them because they felt, hey, look, this is part of our community. So that was a second really key thing. And then the third thing was to actually introduce loyalty programs. So people that bought online, people that continue to support them became part of the loyalty program. And of course, they benefited from that as well. Now, the interesting thing about City Brews is they're not just survived, they actually expanded their footprint. And we all know the reality is that during tough times, the people that stick it out are the ones that actually then grow fastest at the end. And, we've heard this morning, watching the news, you would have seen that people are predicting that the tough time in New Zealand could last for the next 12 to 18 months. But sticking it out, doing what I'm about to show you, will help you to make sure that you not just survive to 25, you actually expand beyond that. So I want to talk to you about 5 points that I think are really valuable and will help you to stick around and make sure that your business survives. Number one, absolutely take a deep dive into customer insights. Right? Take a deep dive into customer insights. Make sure that you've got the data and you know what the data is telling you. Analyze the data. Use your analytics. If you can, analyze it and then adjust as you need to. So number one, take a deep dive into your customer insights. Number two, optimize multiple channels. I've already mentioned about going online versus in-store, but optimize your multiple channels. Focus on the channels that have the highest return on investment and scrap the ones that don't. Right? Don't let yourself stick around just because you think that the channel would be a good idea. And then, of course, that will allow you to enhance your reach as well. Number three, innovate. But when I say innovate, innovate within reason, innovate within your means. I'm not suggesting you change your entire business model overnight. That would not be sensible at all. Do incremental changes, test and measure it, and keep innovating the whole way through. That'll stand you in good stead. Number four, forge strategic alliances. Excuse me. What do I mean by that? I mean collaborate with people that are complementary, businesses that are complementary to you. Share costs if you can. It'll allow you to also to access new markets. So forge strategic alliances, collaborate. It allows you to broaden your the markets that you go into. And then number 5, strengthen your customer retention strategy. Strengthen your customer relationships. It's an old thing, I know, but people absolutely feel valued when they know that you're actually there for them, you're not just there for yourself. So personalize your service. Make sure that you show value to your customers, and more particularly, make sure that you show them that you value them as customers. And then through that, foster customer loyalty. Now, just to finish off, going back to City Brews. City Brews not only survived, they thrived, right? They maintained stability of their cash flow, they maintained stability of their prices, of their sales. They built loyalty, they increased market share in the face of a massive pandemic. Now, I believe that you can too. Your business can as well. If you are ready to do that, if you are ready to take your business to the next level, despite what you might see around you, then visit our website or jump onto the calendar link, book some time with me. Let's have a conversation about what this means in your business. And together, let's make sure we turn these challenges into opportunities. Have a fantastic week. All the best. Bye-bye.